We are going to present our presentation with the topic experimental literature. Experimental literature is literature that is written using innovative techniques and often presented in a way that is not considered regular. Writers have gone to great lengths and pushed their creative boundaries to achieve something that is out of the ordinary. First example we can see from David Mitchell, Cloud Atlas, author's biography. David Stephen Mitchell is an English novelist and screenwriter. He has written 9 novels, two of which, Number 9 Dream and Cloud Atlas, were shortlisted for the Booker Prize. He was born in January 12, 1969, Southport, United Kingdom. Explanation from the author's work. David Mitchell, the award-winning writer of Cloud Atlas, decided to embrace a new technology and released an entire short story on Twitter. Surprisingly, Mitchell doesn't use Twitter often as he values his privacy. So what motivated him to release not just a few lines but an entire short story on a micro-blogging platform? The answer is simple. The medium supported the way he wanted to tell his history. Set in 1960, set in 1978, the right sort features a central character who takes one of his mother's Valium pills. As a result, as all his thoughts are short and sporadic, connected while seemingly disconnected. Each of these thoughts was represented by a tweet, and Mitchell released approximately 20 tweets every day spread over a period of 7 days. The thought collectively form a short story with a narrative.
The use of Twitter to release this story was well thought out and not done for the sake of gimmickry. If he had published this story in a book, readers would have to read the talk in one go, and not as a random brush the way Michael intended, similar to the way talk come to us. The impact of the story will end up being very differently. Twitter itself started as a platform to share random thought, and Michael's brilliance is evident as he managed to merge Twitter's originally purpose and his writing to form a unique storytelling. This is a classic case of technology supporting a new form of writing. Next is summary. The book consists of 6 nested stories. Each is read or observed by a main character of the next. Thus, they progress in time to the central 6th story. The first 5 stories are each interrupted at a pivotal moment. After the 6th story, the order resolve in reserved chronological order. The protagonists of each section read or observe the chronological earlier work in the chain. Next is example 2, Austin Kleon, newspaper blackout. Author's biography. Austin Kleon is a New York Times best-selling author of 5 books. Still Like an Artist, Show Your Work, Keep Going, Still Like an Artist Journal, and the newspaper blackout. Kleon's work focused on creativity in today's world. Next is explanation. Not many people think of converting their morning newspaper into a poem or using to tell stories, but writer Austin Kleon recognized the potential that newspapers bring with their many words, quite literally, to create stories. He wrote a book, a collection of poems, if you will, with stories created by blacking out most words in a given newspaper article. Kleon refers to himself as a writer with a design sensibility. Initially, he released a few poems on his blog, and after he gained some fame, HarperCollins approached him to release them as a poetry book.
Had Kleon not had a popular blog, it is unlikely that HarperCollins would have paid his work any attention, and it is quite possible that Kleon's brilliant work would remain obscure. Since he redacts from newspapers, Kleon is working with constraints, and that challenge makes his work even more interesting and creative. He has virtually created a new genre of writing, one which many are now adopting. The companion blog to his book also allows readers to create their own poems using the blackout technique and submit them on the website. Summary. The author's works are uploaded after Kleon approves them. It is interesting that the challenge here is to create poetry not by stringing together words, but by recognizing a poem trapped between superfluous words, taking the concept of read between the lines to a whole new level. Okay, that's all from our group, and thank you very much for your attention.